Kitty Hawk traffic Golf Alpha Papa taxiing to Bravo. Okay, ready? So when we get here, we've got to do some power checks to check the engine. Then we'll go onto the runway, backtrack, and then we'll, if you're happy, we'll take off. Okay?
Yep.
Happy so far?
Yeah, good. Looking forward.
You want to do a selfie while I'm doing this? Selfie of us. I'll just do the power checks while you're doing that. So we've got to turn it up to 3,500 revs, holding the brakes. Right, then we do 1 mag drop, 2 mag drops, back to 1400, okay. Basically there's 2 electric circuits on the engine, so if one fails, we've still got the other one, so it's still power, but you need to make sure that they're working, both of them independently. Right, so we need to now check. I haven't heard anybody else on the radio, so anybody else out there. So we're just going to, we'll do the flaps when we get down. Kitty Hawk Radio Golf Alpha Papa backtracking 10. Well, it's a bit bright, isn't it? Don't do anything. Just stop here just to make sure nobody's coming in on this runway. Pretty good?
Yeah. Quite excited.
Hey?
I'm excited.
Don't want any screaming as we take off. Okay, so this is the numbers now for 10.
Okay.
Do is we'll just turn tightly. Do final checks. The abort point is basically those cones, so if we're not really airborne by then, we're a little bit past them, I'll then stop. Just got to do the takeoff. Kitty Hawk traffic Golf Alpha Papa lining up 10. Right, so flap stage 1, trim is set, fuel is sufficient, fuel pump is on. Okay, fuel pump is good. Right, I'm just going to do a briefing, which is as much for me as it is for you, right? So,
yeah.
So on the takeoff run, I'm going to line up with the centre of the runway, take 2 to 3 seconds to apply full throttle, keeping the aircraft in the centre of the runway with rudder, wings level with the aileron and a little back pressure to reduce stress on the nose leg. If anything untoward occurs on the takeoff run, I'm going to close the throttle and use the brakes to stop on the runway. On the climb out, if the engine fails, I will lower the nose to maintain a safe airspeed and turn no more than is necessary to effect a safe landing. I will not turn back to the runway. Okay, so we've got a very slight crosswind, you can see, okay?
Yeah.
That means we need a little bit of left stick. Flaps, trim, fuel. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so no talking now till we're up to 500 feet. Okay?
Roger that.
5,000. Airspeed's alive. We'll sort out the squelch in a minute. It won't be so noisy once I've sorted it. Okay. 72. 300 feet, flaps away. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yep. Probably because we got the windows open. Right, so let's climb a bit faster. Turn to the right. We don't go over the village.
It's just pop.
Happy?
Happy.
See, we're following the circuit pattern at the moment. A lot smoother than it was earlier.
Right.
sunglasses on. A bit dark with them on.
Unbelievable.
Surprised you didn't film the takeoff actually, but we got it on camera, haven't we? So. Kitty Hawk traffic, Golf Alpha Papa is departing the circuit to the south and switching to Shoreham. So we'll just get up to about...
Enjoy.
Oh, thank you very much, we will. See you later, Golf Alpha Papa. Probably Lee. You want to try and shut that window? I think that's part of the problem. It's push it, push it. No, push that.
Got it.
Okay, right. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to turn up at about 2,000 feet now. And once we're in the cruise, I'm just going to call into Shoreham and see if they might not be there. Right, so now we throttle back. So, see, this is the trim. See that? Just by moving that. We trim it basically to fly at 90.
So that maintains it at... Oh, wow.
So it'll basically, if we go faster, it'll try and get back to 90.
Yeah.
So basically you're trimming to speed. Now it does look a little bit murky over there, so we'll just see how it goes for a minute.
Yeah.
We're going to come a bit north now, so we're going to go over the Amex. And I'm going to try and switch, I'm just going to switch to Shoreham. If anybody's talking to them. Should imagine that they've closed. 7 o'clock now, so do is go on to London information. Okay, so we'll just listen for a minute to see if we're talking to them. Happy?
Yeah, taking it all in.
Right, fuel pump can go off now.
The visibility is mad.
Right, I'm just going to call into London information, alright? Refrain from speaking for a minute. London information, Golf Charlie Delta Alpha Papa request basic service.
Golf Charlie Delta Alpha Papa, London information, good evening, pass your message.
Golf Charlie Delta Alpha Papa Eurostar microlight 2 POB VFR from Kitty Hawk near Lewis to Kitty Hawk via Shoreham, Eastbourne and Hastings. Currently 2 miles south of Lewis at 2,300 on 1021 request basic service.
Golf Alpha Papa, Roger, Squawk 1177 with Mo Charlie, basic service.
Squawk 1177 with Mo Charlie, basic service. Thank you, Golf Alpha Papa. Okay, so now I've put 1177 on there, you see, so anybody on the radar can tell us that we're talking to London information.
Okay.
Sounds like they're pretty quiet.
The Amex.
See the Amex?
Yeah.
Get a photo of it. Go past on the left hand side.
Strange is you can actually see the propeller through the camera when you can't.
Where is it? Because it's catching the wind.
Put it on airplane mode.
I don't think it really matters.
Routine.
Right, so if we go over to the Amex a bit closer.
Golf Charlie Delta Sierra Charlie, overhead Chivana. Sierra Charlie, roger. Do you have an ETA back to your private site?
Took about 13 minutes, Golf Sierra Charlie.
Golf Sierra Charlie, roger. Golf November Oscar, do you have an ETA to Slate?
ETA 1822 local.
Golf November Oscar.
There yesterday.
Sorry?
At the game.
Good.
Apart from the fact we lost one. Great.
What we'll do is we'll kind of cut around Brighton, and then if we come back over, then you'll be able to get a shot that looking at the road. Is that better? Can you hear me a bit better now? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a bit better. Yeah, it's because the windows were open earlier. Right, so welcome to my new toy. There's another plane up there, but it's a big plane.
Oh yeah. So that's that'll be traffic 3 o'clock high.
Yes, very high. Another one up there. Look.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, over here there's a, we can't go above 5,500 feet because of the what's called the TMA above us. It's the traffic manoeuvring area.
Yeah. That's actually really reassuring that that's very little down this height.
Yeah, so we'll come up a little bit just to get a bit of height. So. A bit hazy up ahead, so keep an eye on that. As I said, Shoreham, Eastbourne, Hastings. Probably doesn't matter actually, but right. We're going to turn around now. Actually, we'll go to the right, shall we? Because then go round to the left for a little bit, and then you can come and have a look at the airfield on the right. I don't know what that is down there. There's a bit of a steeper turn.
It's a nice little flower show on the ground.
Ooh.
Is that a tight turn?
Yeah, it's not a very steep one, but there you go. So there's Lancing College.
Getting trigger happy now.
Take as many as you like. I think Shoreham's probably closed now. Closed about 6 or 7. You can't actually land there out of hours.
You can't. But an emergency you surely can.
Oh yeah, if there's an emergency
Yeah.
you could. Just going to call in London information. Golf Alpha Papa overhead, Shoreham now routing direct Hastings.
Golf Alpha Papa, roger. What's your estimate for Hastings?
30 minutes.
30 minutes from now.
Say again?
Is that 30 minutes from now?
Affirm, Golf Alpha Papa.
Golf Alpha Papa, thank you.
Right, so we're going to go, I'd had to guess that because it probably, because they don't actually have a radar, so they rely on positional updates, just by people telling them where they are. So so that's 10 minutes, that little marker there.
Yeah.
So 10, yeah, so probably 30 minutes is about right to get to Hastings. But what we'll do is we'll turn back there and tell him that we're going back to Eastbourne.
Yeah.
Golf Bravo, Foxtrot, Uniform Bravo, London information.
Now we sped up a bit because I'm not watching. So if I let go of the stick, it'll come back to 90. Then in a minute it'll come down again. The nose is now dropping because it's going to try and get back to 90. So it's inherently stable. trying to get us back to 90 so I can fly. And I could fly hands-free just by doing that now. Yeah, it's so smooth compared to how it was earlier.
I'm glad I didn't come up earlier.
So now, the goal now is we're just going to start crossing Brighton. So I'm just going to do a quick instrument check. Everything's looking fine. Your job now is to try and figure out where you live and then text Ben and Jane and tell them that we're flying over you.
Okay, right, so there's the pier. What would be a good... I think probably Parks. Let's think. Devil's Dyke, that would be a good work down from Devil's Dyke.
So, Devil's Dyke, the A23 I think is, there's the Amex. So the A23, is this it? No. No, it's a bit further round, isn't it?
See if I can spot. So there's a pier.
Probably going to go roughly over the top of them, I think. So you should text him now and say we'll be overhead in about 2 minutes. Once we see the...
Oscar has slate in sight, so transferring to slate traffic 122.455.
Golf November Oscar, Roger, Squawk on security. Good evening.
Squawk on security, good evening, thank you.
the railway line. This is the station. We're probably going overhead in a minute, actually. Can't see the A23. No, there's the A. Is that the A23 there? Yeah, there's the A23 there. So we're coming over the top. The Dyke Road is. There's the windmill down here. So if we come round, then you'll probably be able to see. So if there's a school down there, what school's that?
That'd be Varney.
Right, so where do you live then?
So there. So we are. Yeah, we're about over hours now, I reckon. We can't be far off.
So why don't we just do a quick orbit then? He received it.
He has, yeah. I don't know if
So if you keep your eyes out, there's Whitbean, I think. That Whitbean there, that.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course it is.
So
Just above there. That's Dyke Road. Yeah, we must have gone over close to it then.
we'll just go down here a bit and then we'll go round back over. We might be able to see the map. Ready? See a plane or not? There's Whitbean. You're further.
We're further up from now.
So you're probably over here then.
Yeah. Quite get my bearings.
Difficult, isn't it? You'd be up and then left. Yeah, so we're probably behind us already.
Yeah, I'd say so.
You want to do another orbit or not?
Yeah, let's do another one.
There's Whitbean. Can you look at Google Maps and get an idea on Google Maps?
Terrible without my glasses.
It must be over there somewhere.
Yeah. I'm just looking for some landmark other than Whitby, so
London information, rescue 924. Rescue 924, London information, hello again.
With Dean on the right. Yeah, so I think you're under here somewhere.
It's 1005.
Can he see you anyway? As he said he can see you.
he's actually in the office.
Oh, is it?
He's actually working in the Thai restaurant.
So
So
is it? Right.
yeah, he probably would have gone outside the door.
Oh well. Alright, well let's proceed.
924, Roger. Wessex QNH is 1016 now.
Very difficult, isn't it?
And what's your estimate back to your barracks?
1016 will be at Beachy Barracks at minute 35.
Okay, so we've got to do another live check. Overhead Brighton,
Roger.
instruments,
Service continues.
good, fuel's fine. We've got 40 minutes till sunset. Looks like it'll be a bit of a damp squib today because of all the cloud.
Yeah,
Never mind.
still
Right, so-
fantastic view anyway.
Yeah, so we're going to go over the Amex again. We're going to head straight over there now,
Yeah.
and then we're going to come back round here, round Beachy Head, and then go and land. All right?
What's so strange is just being able to see Beachy Head from this distance, so you can actually.
Yeah, that's Seaford Head and the Seven Sisters. We can't see Beachy Head because
No, we
it's around
can't.
the corner. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing it hasn't got is a radio, like a music radio. You have to, I was thinking we should do cockpit karaoke.
Oh, there's the university buildings down there.
Yeah, they look cool up here, don't they?
Yeah, I'm in the one next to the green building. That's the car park, and I'm in the one next door to it.
Sorry? Cool. Marina, there's a public school, whatever it's called. What's that school called?
Where are we?
Left of the marina. What
Oh,
the-
that's what the old school, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called.
Roadie.
Radio.
What you also start to appreciate is actually how green it is for all of, we talk about cities and build-up. That's not far out of Brighton, and that's very green.
Well, a few weeks ago, before the rain, it was brown. Everything was really brown.
Really?
Yeah, since the rain, it's amazing how much greener it's become. Yeah, it's also, I mean, you know, in terms of engine failures or whatever, we can pick, the wind's coming from that sort of direction. So what we would do if we had an engine failure is just find a field and land in it. So like that one down there, maybe?
Yeah.
That's what I was practicing with Luke today.
So the wind's coming at us.
Yeah, we're heading, so now look, you see our ground speed 66.
Yeah.
But we're actually going 90, so we've got about a 30 mile an hour headwind.
Oh, got it, yeah.
So, and you could feel that in the turn back there where we were turning. You could feel we were sliding. Well, I could feel anyway. You might. What that means is because we're going quite a lot slower now. What we probably need to do is think about this leg's 10 minutes. Actually, I don't know what. What we'll do is we'll get towards Hastings and we'll turn around because we've got this headwind. We're actually making slow progress now. We're only going 66. We're coming back to Lewis now.
A lot of new houses being built down there.
Small. There we go. You can see it. See, there's a big forest.
Yeah.
And in the forest you can see some green domes and another, that's Herstmonceux, the observatory. Herstmonceux Castle.
Yeah, it must go. I've never been there.
You know, it's really cool, actually. Definitely worth a trip. Now you can see it's getting misty over there.
Yeah.
So we're going, just as well, we're going to turn as soon as we got round Herstmonceux. time for a free. So this is a free to check, which is slightly different. So fuel's fine. Radio we're on. London information. Engine looking fine. Direction we are heading northeast. Altitude we're at 2,200.
So that's a reminder. Automatically comes up.
Yep. It just means that you're checking fuel, because the last thing you want to do is run out of fuel or not talking to the right radio station or whatever. Yeah, so there's so what we'll do is we'll come round. Then we're just going to head to the coast and we'll go along around. Get your pictures of Beachy Head.
What's so surprising is how little is in the air.
Yeah, it is. I mean, some days when it's, you go to the Isle of Wight, it's absolutely heaving.
Yeah.
And when I went to a place called Popham a few months ago, they had a microlight fair, and there was, I mean, it was like Heathrow. There's just, 7 people on final.
Wow.
That was really, really being a bit scary. Only because I hadn't been in that much traffic before. But yeah, around here, I don't know, there doesn't seem to be much around at the moment.
I'm not complaining. So how much more have you got to do with your tutor guy? Is that you have to keep doing it for a certain?
Oh no, that's just because I choose to. I don't need to.
Oh, okay.
I just things like that. If you don't practice them often, or not often, but a couple of times a year, then you forget how to do it when you actually need it. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn now. Just going to call in and let them know. Golf Alpha Papa, currently 6 miles east of Beanland. We're going to route direct Bexhill, Eastbourne and Lewis, and then return to Kitty Hawk now.
Golf Alpha Papa, Roger. Advised, changing to Kitty Hawk.
Negative, not changing frequency, just changing routing.
Roger. As I say, we've got another known traffic spectre on the south coast. If you let me know when you're finished, and changing Kitty Hawk.
Will do. We'll go. Golf Alpha Papa. I said we'll do instead of we'll go. He's just sitting there having a cup of tea. Oh, look, there you go.
Oh, yeah. He's climbing, isn't he?
Turning.
Turning.
Right, so we've got something here, look. Now that's interesting. That's coming in from our right and it's low. There's that, and that's going to be intersecting us. Our right hand side, lower than us.
Lower than us.
I think it will come in behind us, but I don't quite know what that could be. We'll be well past it anyway, look. Down at about 1,000 feet. But he's now... Climb up a bit. That is then. Anyway, he's well past. I think it's a helicopter actually, that's the symbol for a helicopter.
I think you'd be able to see them with this visibility.
It's literally right behind us now.
Oh, okay.
So I think we've got enough time. What we'll do is we'll Beachy head and up the meanders. And straight back in. Okay? We've got 10 minutes till sunset, and we've got 30 minutes after that. We have to be on the ground 30 minutes after sunset, according to the law. But obviously, we don't want to leave it too late because then it gets dark.
Yeah. Have you flown in the dark?
No, not in real life. But everybody talks about jihad.
That is one hell of a view, I've got to say, that is brilliant.
See how many rockfalls there's been. Cliff is collapsing.
Yeah. Surprising they haven't fenced any bit off, any stretch of it.
Bit bizarre, isn't it? So that's the lighthouse. I think it's Le Redoubt, not lighthouse or something.
Oh yes, yeah.
Stay in there, but I think it's already been moved back once apparently, and it's getting so close to the edge they're going to have to move it again.
Oh my god, the cost to do that.
East Dean.
I think an interesting place to live actually.
East Dean.
Yeah.
Very, very boring apparently. Full of old people.
Is it?
More so than Seaford, yeah. And that's Berlin Gap.
Oh dear.
Wish the clouds weren't there. It'd be an absolutely beautiful sunset. But, can't have everything, can you?
Still very good visibility.
Then up the meanders. How long we got? 5 minutes. We'll be back pretty much in 5 minutes. Yeah. This looks kind of small and mixed, but it's beautiful when you see it from the hills. But it's not smaller, but it doesn't look as grand as it does from a bit closer to the Right, so we won't flow over my house. There's Seaford Head Golf Course down there. You want to fly over the golf course?
Yeah, I think we should. I want to see that 18th hole from 2,000 feet above it.
That little white circle, that's the Seaford VOR. It's like a beacon for airplanes.
Oh yes, yes, you can see it on the golf course.
Funnily enough, we are going to fly over my house.
Seaford's quite a decent sized town, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really is.
My house is out there. We're going to go over the top of it. And we're going to... There we go, so there's the golf course.
Get some people right on the cliff edge down there, a whole bunch of them.
Realise how big Seaford Beach is as well.
Those recent sewage leaks have been disgraceful.
Oh, somebody here got a light on over there, look.
Oh yeah.
Probably that, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm going to put our landing light on now. So we're pretty much overhead my house. Just going to call into London information. Golf Alpha Papa request frequency change to Kitty Hawk 118.265.
Golf Alpha Papa, thank you for conspicuity. Have a good evening.
Conspicuity, thank you very much, Golf Alpha Papa. Right, think. Kitty Hawk traffic, Golf Alpha Papa currently overhead Seaford. We'll be joining right hand downwind for 10. So what we're doing is we're now sort of doing a kind of a slow descent. Because the airfield is basically to the left of Arlington. Take that off now. I've been going quite fast to try and get back before sunset. Slow down a bit now.
Makes a huge difference, the light, the visibility of that aircraft. That's just, there's one up above.
Yeah. Isn't it?
So you'd think they should all have the lights on or not at all.
Looking at the windmills coming in from there. What we'll do is we'll go downwind, and if the windsock is pointing in the wrong direction, we might change runway.
Is there two runways?
Yeah. We'll just have a look at the windsock. You see the windmills are pointing directly to us now?
Yeah.
And we're heading north, so the wind's coming in northeast. So actually 10 is probably alright. Anyway, so over there you can just about see the airfield now. It kind of, if you look at the solar farm, like yellow, 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 and then there's kind of a black bit. No, can you see it?
Not yet, no.
Okay. So we're going to slow down a bit. So you can see the runway directly there. We could do a straight in approach on that runway. But that's probably quite a crosswind, so we go with the original plan. So we've got to get down to 800 feet for the circuit, and because the airfield is higher, the pressure is lower, so we go down to 1020. Now we've got to start coming down, put the fuel pump on. We'll do some checks in a minute once we're on downwind. Can't see anybody else around.
Okay to film while we're landing?
Yeah?
Yep.
Absolutely. So we're coming in on this, so if I do make approach now, and then I do runway 10, and I do downwind, so it's going to show us where we're going, right? Coming in here and then go around.
Okay.
But we're a bit high, see, so what I'll do is I'll pull back the throttle. Come down, let's say. Be down for 800 feet. Right, we're going to turn onto downwind now. it'll be a bit bumpier because
Yeah.
we're closer to the ground now. So if I say go around, what I'm going to do is hit the throttle and we'll just take off, well not take off, but go back round and do it again if I'm not happy about anything.
Yeah, fine.
Okay. Right, so we're now on downwind. We've got to call into the airfield to tell them where we are when we get parallel to the numbers. We're 800 feet, which is what we want to be. We're a bit fast. So there's the runway there. Kitty Hawk Traffic Golf, Alpha Papa right hand downwind 10. There's the runway there.
Yeah.
Now the windsock, difficult to tell. It looks like it's going that way a little bit, but it looks like it's quite light. So, right, so just do some checks. Brakes, okay, undercarriage, fix and lock, mixture rich. Fuel sufficient for go around, fuel pumps on, landing lights on. Instruments are all fine. Carb heat's off, and hatches and harnesses are all good. Right, so I'm going to turn on base. So I'm going to talk you through this.
Yep.
We're a little bit early for base actually, but in a minute we're going to throttle back, and I'm going to get the speed back to 72, drop the flaps, and then we're going to come in and we'll start descending. Now I've got to be careful I don't hit furl. And I'm going to go into my turn. I'm going to turn this down to about 3,000 revs now. And we're going to slow down as we come round the bend. 72. On one stage of flaps. Drop the nose a bit. 2. Once we turn on final, then I'll talk to myself, but please don't say anything. You see the windsock?
Yeah,
so
got it.
We're on that runway there.
It's very clear.
Basically, as soon as we turn on to final, we've just got to call final, so people on the ground know what we're going to do. We're going to slow down to 60, drop 2 stages more flap to slow us down. Well, not slow us down, but it's a drag flap, so it means that we will land a lot slower. So I'll start turning in now. Kitty Hawk Traffic, Golf Alpha Papa, final 10. Power a bit so we come down. So I'll talk you through it, but yeah, if you could just a bit quiet now. They're a bit high. Drop flaps. Trim for 60. And there we are, we're down. That's quite smooth.
That was great. I was waiting for something a bit more dramatic than that. That was.
Are we?
that was.
No, we don't. We try not to make it more dramatic than that. Bunny's running a bloody runway. There we go. You've lost your virginity.
That was very smooth. I've got to say that was not what I was expecting.
No? What do you think it was going to be?
Well,
Like?
I just thought landing small aircraft. I just thought you're bound to have a lot more. Expecting a bit more bumps and a bit more.
Right.
But actually,
it's
that was
very
good.
calm, isn't it? Very slow.
Yeah.
And lots of time to think about things. But you know, if you go around, you just put that weight to you just carry on flying it. But basically, it took me ages to figure out that the way to do a good landing is you just try and fly it down the runway. Don't try and land it I was always trying to land it, but you just try and keep it flying, and eventually you'll just touch down.
Yeah.
Because there's no power, so.
That must have been a nice moment when that clicked in your head.
Oh, it did, yeah. The Kitty Hawk traffic Golf Alpha Papa 10 is vacated. Really?
So because of those cones, they basically can only get a certain size aircraft.
Yeah, it's just to say where there's big ditches there. So
Yeah, oh, okay.
we get quite a lot of visitors here.